All right, I'm in Newark, New Jersey. It's very windy. That's why I'm wearing this hat, because my baseball hat was flowing away, and it's going to be windy, so the noise, the sound will not be pretty, and that's what I'm picking up. So they call it stair or stairs. It's, you know, when a pilot locks keys inside, like, how do you get in? That's what you use. There's this funny looking, coming from China, Tld make, super low, see, very low, and so this spot goes towards the plane, of course. And naturally there's no tie downs. Oh, actually, wait a second. Wow, I'm impressed. That's good. If I could find one in the front, that would be awesome. Well, there's that one. They never think. I don't know. How do they secure it on the ship? Because on the ship they have to tie it down, right? Well, we'll figure it out once I'm on the deck, and it's a diesel. See, all this is hydraulic. That's as low as it can go. Well, I hope it's gonna work, because I don't know. It's probably 6 inches, and I gotta be careful with the back, because if the front goes up, that will drag, right? Gonna take longer than I thought. Yeah, that was quite some loading. Just wanted to mention a couple of things. First of all, I would not be able to do this load if I had my old 55-ton drop side rail trailer, because this machine only has 6" of ground clearance, and the drop side rail was 8" between the center rails and the sides, and so you would need like a ton of boards, you know. And even then, it was super difficult. It was super difficult. It got stuck, you know, where my the front in the center there, where the neck connects, just too low. And the worst part, that these machines are so weak, you know, like a slightest incline, it cannot go. Like there's no way to increase the RPM, like the power. It's like a toy, you know, like it's like a golf cart without any power. I don't know, and they probably cost a bundle, you know, and they bring them from overseas. I know lots of guys, lots of fans like watching me drink and eat, but unfortunately I already ate, so I cannot show you me eating. So drinking, that's all I can do. Anyway, the machine got stuck, and there was this other guy, Admiral Merchants, and the checker, like the guy from the port that took us here, because the address they gave us is somewhere like on the other side. She passed this humongous crane. Look at this. Well, actually, it's not that big. Oh, it's not a crane. It's like it has a bucket, so I guess it can do some excavating underwater. I think that looks like some kind of a freeway in the distance there, but we were somewhere on the opposite side. We came from somewhere there, because that's where the central port is, you know. But so the guy escorted us here. We got all the paperwork, and I helped out one guy who was lost, who says he never was there. Like, I found the place where you park and you go inside and check, right? And I see this guy walking around, and he also has the same trailer, except his was a 35-ton mechanical. And I see on the door it says Admiral Merchants, and later I found out he's Canadian as well. And he's walking around trying to find something, and I said, hey, over there, just follow me. And we go there, and then he was loading a smaller machine. And so these two guys, I'm building ramps, right? And the checker told me I can use some boards lying nearby, because I spent probably 90 bucks Canadian at Rona or Home Depot, the same as Home Depot. Not just bought some softwood, but even that was not enough. And so these two guys come over, and they just stand there and they watch, and they give me, you know, some clever ideas. Why don't you do this? And I said, guys, like, either you're helping, but you know, like when you try to do some work and these guys are standing there, can we make a suggestion? I just wanted to grab that board, you know, and it was softwood, so it wouldn't cause too much damage. Anyway, then I got stuck, and I said, guys, I'll figure it out. So the machine got stuck. I cannot go back, I cannot go forward. And then this Admiral Merchants guy, he did have one clever suggestion. He says, if I were you, I would lower those stabilizers, you know, like the legs. And I'm like, I cannot say anything. That's a good idea, because the machine was stuck, you know. And so I asked the checker guys, and how do I lower these stabilizers? You know, like the crane has these legs, right, with circles, with the circle plates that you can push into the ground. And he says, oh, I think they're disabled. Really? I go inside the cab, and, you know, like a typical 10-year-old, I look at pictograms, because I've said this many times, that in order to learn how to operate a machine, you must be really smart. You must know how to read pictograms. Like, if you cannot read pictograms, that's it, you're done. You cannot do this job. So if you're smart and you can read pictograms, you know, those lines, and usually they use colors in there. It's a bit difficult, but you can figure it out. And so I started looking at pictograms, and probably after, I don't know, 30-40 minutes, I'm a fast learner. So I found stabilizer right where the shifter is. There was 3 levers, and it says stabilizers: extract, you push forward; detract, you push backwards. And this guy said they're disabled, and I look at the picture. It says basically have your parking brake on, you know, be in neutral, and hold the brake, and then just activate this, and you can use the other foot, you know, to add, you know, to push in the throttle. And I did that. They went down, so the machine went up. I was able to get out of that stuck position where, you know, the front got stuck on the wood. You know, thanks God it did not get stuck on my trailer. Otherwise, it would cause, you know, all kinds of scratches in there. But it just stopped on the soft wood, and it couldn't go anywhere. And so I raised it, put more timbers under the tires, dropped it, and I was able to roll off. And this checker guy says, he says, we shipped, he says, I shipped probably 5 or 6 of these. He says, the only way to load them is they will not climb. If you stop on the incline, they will not climb. I'm like, who makes these, you know? Like, they're probably okay, but I think with so little power, like if there's a strong wind, and this thing, you know, has lots of, it's like a sail, you know, that ladder. So how's it gonna drive in the open airfield, you know? Crazy. So anyway, the guy says you have to roll all the way back and then push the throttle in and just go up. And I look at him, I said, you see these? You see these ramps? Like, how you expect me, you know, they're all shaky, right? It's not safe. And then, you know, we kind of had an argument, right? They were telling me what to do. I said, okay guys, leave me alone, I'll figure it out. And usually these port guys, they're not supposed, and they always refuse to help you load. And I see he's in this cart, in the stair, behind the steering wheel, and the Admiral Merchant's guy is pointing him left, right, left, right. Like, hey, you could have done that with me, right? Instead of standing like this and giving me pointers on where to put the boards. You know, sometimes I hate this. Like, leave me alone, let me do my job. And guess what I did? It was too hectic, I couldn't show it, but so the machine is stuck. But yeah, I got out of that stuck situation, but now it got stuck because the front wheels were already on the deck, but the rear wheels were on the incline, you know, on the boards. And this thing doesn't want to go up, you know, like there's no obstruction. I pushed the throttle. I learned a trick, like I pushed the brake with my left hand, and then I pushed the throttle because I could feel like the RPM was going, you know, a little bit. It took a while for the RPM to go up, right? And so I would push the throttle in, and when I could feel the RPM were at the maximum, I would release the brake, and this thing inched forward like 1 inch and stopped, and starts rolling back. It's like, you know, the incline, right? Like on the board, maybe it was like this. So the rear wheels are here, it cannot go to, you know, unbelievable. So what I did, I stopped, turned off the engine. I look at the machine. In the front, it has the towing bar. I look in the back, my rear axle is up, and there's a hole between the wheels. And I said, I know it's gonna take a while, to myself, but that's the only way I can do it. So I climbed underneath, got out of all my chains, hook up a chain to the front. Yeah, I should have filmed this, but you know, it's like it was too hectic, it was getting dangerous. So basically I hooked up a chain to the front of the machine, then put my truck in the back of the trailer, hooked up the chain and I had to use like 4 or 5 chains to my towing you know, bar in there, and tighten the chain till I could see that the thing started slightly moving. Then I went back and the steering wheel was straight. I went back, I released the parking brake, and I'm thinking, what am I gonna do if this thing starts rolling towards the, you know, rear of the trailer? Like, how am I gonna stop it? I'm in the truck, right? But it would not go off the trailer, but it would just hit the ramps, you know, in the back. And so I put a board in there. I put a board like across, you know, maybe like 4 or 5 feet forward, because I know this gutless thing would stop. It could not climb that much. And so I did that a couple of times, got out, checked. Yeah, it was going straight, everything is good, it was working. And I see those guys are looking at me. I'm like, what is he doing there? But there was no other way, you know, like towing this thing, because I used to be a tow truck driver, right? So I just towed it to the back, and then I stopped and I thought, okay, you know, the chain is tight, so how I cannot move the truck forward, because then this thing will roll, right? And I figured, okay, I'm gonna go in the stair, and hopefully now it's on a level deck, it'll go forward a little bit. And guess what? All right, that thing stopped in front of that board I put across, and one of the tires pinched it, and I managed to to grab it and turn it, and one piece broke. It was like this piece under the tire, and when I tried to get in the, you know, in the gear and start driving, it would not drive. Like, I'm telling you, unbelievable. This thing cannot even climb like a small rock, you know. Okay, back to the truck. Release the chain a little bit, go forward. This thing rolled a little bit, and then I put the brake on, got that stupid piece of wood from under the tire, and then I drove, and it's pretty long. Like, I had to go all the way forward. It's raining now. I'm gonna show you later what it looks like, but it's only 7,500 kilograms, which is 16,000 pounds. So I'll double check the height, but I got permits for 1310, just in case. I don't think it's that high, but we'll see. I put 4 chains. It's just a couple of inches on each side, and not in the bottom, but at the top where the actual stairs are, you know. So I put the flag in there. Okay, maybe it's not. Is it? I see it's drizzling a little bit, but okay, I'll show you quickly. Don't get wet. If you have an umbrella, use it. All right, so you see, I only have this much space over here. But I could have moved forward a little bit, but when you sit behind the wheel, because there's no radiator, it looks like I'm already here, you know. I had to jump out like 3 or 4 times because I was afraid I would hit the front of the trailer. A very cute machine, you know, like LED lights, but let me show you inside. See, these are the legs, the stabilizers. There's 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So this thing, see these cylinders? So this goes up and then it extends. You see all this frame, right? So that it can support a bunch of people getting out of the plane. But so that's what it is. So you have a handbrake, and you first of all you activate this. That's your battery disconnect. You push it like this, and then you'll hear some slight electric noise, and then you turn that starter key and you hold it for a few seconds, and then it starts, and that's it. You only have 2 pedals. You have throttle and brake, and you only have 2 gears, forward and reverse. And this thing is pretty bad. Like, you know, you put your foot on the brake, and then you move this you cannot move this with the brake, with the handbrake on. As soon as you do that, the machine stalls. So you have to push this down when your foot is here, and then put it forward, and wait till you feel some kind of a, you know, like a lurch, like it starts moving. If it doesn't, you go back to neutral and then try again. And the same in reverse. You put it in reverse. If you don't hear the beeping, you know, like the alarm, it means that it didn't go in. So you have to go back. It takes like a couple of times just to get into gear. What a ridiculous machine, you know. And then of course here he says don't use this. It has 60 kilometers an hour speedometer, which I highly doubt that it'll ever reach this. And then over here, see, it gives you all of these instructions. Warning, working light, wiper, fly light, and then, but that's where I saw this. But that's just a diagram. It doesn't show you how to activate this. You know, there's a picture, right? Tells you platform up, stabilizes in, stabilizes out. But then, see, there's more pictograms over here. But this is what I used. You see these? Like it says extension, stabilizer, extension, retract. Probably should be extend, retract. But anyway, so this one, so that's tilting something, tilting, and stairs. So yeah, these operate. So the stabilizer, and then stairs, and I guess tilting up and down. Now what is this? Well, I'm not gonna touch that. Then we have some manuals in here, and a little hammer to, you know, if you feel hungry and you have some walnuts in your truck, probably would be helpful for some nut cracking. Has a single windshield wiper, you know, they gotta tell you something. So, but lots of mirrors here, over there, here, and lots of lights, and they're all LED. You see, there's lights over there, and there's an alarm light over there, another light over here, the cab, two over here. That's the tank. That's my load. Anyhow, I just wanted to say, last thing is that Stairway to Heaven. Oh, and more lights in here. Beautiful. I just wanted to say that, and there's two more of them over there. I just wanted to say that sometimes these loads actually are more difficult to load than a big machine, you know, because they're so low. And that's why, again, I cannot do this stuff for cheap, you know. It has to pay some money. So I negotiated a good rate. Well, not a super good rate, but I did make him go up a little bit because it was too low. Because, you know, I was coming all the way from Canada over here, because there was nothing there. I couldn't find anything in Canada worth my while, you know. So that's it. So today is Friday, so the plan is to get out of the state, and my measuring tape got stuck, you know. It got water on it and it got stuck. I had to throw it away and I forgot to buy a new one. So I'll have to stop at the truck stop and measure, double check my height. But there's a sticker on the front of that machine that tells you exactly how wide it is, how tall it is, and I should be okay, but we'll double check. And so if I'm above 13.6, I cannot drive tomorrow in New York, Saturday, because I thought everybody can drive until 12 o'clock, but we're gonna end it here. Stand by, I will do another video. I made it to Pennsylvania. This is I-80 westbound. and I just have 13 kilometers, what, like 8 miles to go to my next junction, which is 380. So I'm gonna leave I-80 and I'm going on 380, and then there's a couple of detours in there, but eventually they want me to make my way to I-81 north, and that's where I enter New York. And actually this is how I came. This way, yeah, you see 380 north, 7.5 miles. So far I only saw one low bridge. It said 13.6, but there was 3 lanes, and left lane and the curb lane were 13 feet 6 inches tall. So I moved to the middle, and everything was cool. See, nice colors here. Like in Canada, everything is still green. Very hard to find, you know, that red and yellow combo. Control is on. We are flying at 57 miles per hour, holding the steering wheel with 2 hands, so it's 92 kilometers an hour. Today has been a long day. I spent the night near New Milford. What is it? 219, exit 219 on I-81, but that's the Flying J. And it was already like just before 8 o'clock, and I knew that the Flying J will be too busy. And so I went to the next exit 217. There's a couple of truck stops over there. I had no issues finding parking, and I slept there until 5:15. Got up at 5:15 in the morning, and 6 o'clock I was already driving on I-81 south. So basically I started driving at 6 o'clock today. Now it's 20 to 4. And I already got out of New Jersey. You know, like they always say, the plan for the first day after loading is getting out of the state where you loaded. And so that goal has been successfully achieved. I guess I'm just looking for a truck stop. I wanted to get back to the same 217, but they're sending me on these detours. I guess there's some low bridges or some construction. And the cool thing about this load is that at the bottom where the trailer is, it's not wide, you know. It's only wide at the top where the stairs are. And that's pretty cool because, you know, the big problem in construction zones, right, or distraction zone, is that they have these barriers, right? But those barriers are usually like 3-4 feet tall maximum, you know, and so I don't have to be afraid of that. I can go into any distraction and emerge victorious on the other end. So the only thing I gotta watch out for is low bridges. Yeah, this is that big hill before 380. 5 kilometers, 3 miles. We're doing good. This is 8 low. 8 low. So again, my load is only 16,000 pounds. But it catches a lot of wind. So for some reason I have to shift on hills, even though my overall weight is what, 60 plus 16, 76. Just for once I'm under 80,000 pounds. My permit service company was very surprised. They said, "We are shocked that you're light this time." Sign 380 north, exit 293. And I'm still in 8 low because it is a big hill. the video here because it's nothing that you haven't seen before. So freeway, but yeah, the trees look nice. best time of the year, you know, to do some photography if you like landscapes, you know. So we're gonna shut the video off. And I bought yesterday I bought an audio book in Dansville. It's like 50 discs, 11 hours. So now I'm on disc 3. Some kind of a military thriller with spies and dead people and chases and shooting. Very exciting. Thanks for watching.